Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited today to speak with Elena Demina of SystemSkin. She is the founder and CEO of this pioneering biotech skincare brand based in Madrid. I have some here. We'll talk about my personal experience in a little bit. And she's on a mission to maximize results and minimize waste, rejuvenating skin in one single step. She's challenging current limitations in skincare. We can get into that too, how, supposedly everyone needs 10 products. Skin system, a dermal hacks aging with its proprietary omniverse, I love that word, technology, which simultaneously targets 10 functional levels of aging from the microbiome to muscle and from the mitochondria to DNA. So it's like deep. It's deep. With the world's first and only all-inclusive age-defying product, SystemSkin redefines the boundaries of skincare, sustainability, and conscious consumption. I mean, what more do you want in a product? Let's face it. Welcome. How are you?
Hello, Megan. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm well. You're absolutely glowing. Your skin looks amazing
Oh, thank
as
you.
it should. And I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about your background. Like, have you always been in biotech? Have you always been in beauty? Like, what was the origin of this passion project that's now become very successful?
Well, absolutely. I would say I never imagined myself being a founder of a skincare brand. In fact, I spent my whole professional life working for consumer brands, for luxury brands, doing business development. But I never imagined myself in skincare. Never imagined myself in cosmetics, because there are already too many brands, too many products. But
Really?
here is the thing: despite this great amount of products that most people use to defy aging, they still don't get the results they desire. So what is going on? They enter into this vicious cycle, never-ending cycle of testing and trying, and as a result, they keep looking for this solution. They get overwhelmed, frustrated. They lean into this skincare overconsumption, which also leads to waste, to pollution. And yeah, we're like in zero point again. So I was thinking, what can we do to really streamline all the situation, to solve this situation? Because I was also personally suffering from that. I was opening my bath cabinet. I was absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of product that were sitting there, and as a consumer, I was on this vicious cycle too. But as a person who always try to find a solution, to find like to fix the issue, I started to think, what can I do from my side to find a solution from this problem? And this eventually led me to my own independent research on how actually any skincare product is made, how actually our skin is aging, what are the processes, the biological processes of skin aging, what is there in the market, how skincare industry is facing this. And I found a huge gap between what we know from the biological point of view, how our skin aging, and what cosmetic industry is ready to offer us. And at the same time, with all this overwhelming amount of products that never lead us to result, that just was a kind of challenge for me to try to solve it. And that led me eventually to the research and the development of a skincare product that now is all-in-one multi-actionized solution. And well, I never imagined that I would be leading this brand and leading this company, and especially just making a real transformative change in people's life with this product.
So many questions. And I'd love to like drill down as your experience as a female founder in, an industry that you don't have necessarily all the background or the experience, but like, let's focus on first of all, you're speaking my language with less is more. I am honestly, for probably too long, didn't really use anything or, and I think there's a lot to be said you are investing in skincare and it's not giving you the results. So then it's always back on the consumer. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, you're just missing like one other step or something like that is and so it's like you feel bad that you're not doing it correctly. And that's
Exactly.
part of the problem. And it's creating unnecessary stress, I would say. So I love that it's like a one step all. I love how you really drill down on the ingredients and there's just so much wisdom in all of those. And by the way, if you do nothing else, get on Alena's mailing list because she sends out the most educational, powerful, like I'm always learning something with your
Oh, thank you.
and what the one that particularly caught my eye was on sleep, because I think this is one area that like we as entrepreneurs really cross over. I always talk to my clients about, your first tool for all things wellness, be it mental, emotional, physical, I would argue spiritual, like just being there.
Mhm.
And of course, for beauty is sleep. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the how you think about sleep and specifically to the skin. What are the relationships? Because I don't think most of us are that nitty-gritty in our understanding that of the really, we've all heard like get your beauty sleep, but you take it next level.
Well, indeed. Well, I would say that sleep is our best facialist. This is
Good.
just for me the statement, because when we sleep is when our skin regenerates, is when our skin really makes this transformative process of rebuilding itself. Because during the daytime our skin is entering the mode of protection, and this is actually guided from chronobiology, which is a scientific study of how all living organisms are organized, from microbes to animals and to humans. We all live following this chronobiology, which is the rhythm of activity and sleep. And during the day, our skin basically enters into protection mode. It has to protect itself from UV radiation, from the pollution, from environmental stressors, from chemicals, from everything that we receive. Exactly. We barely produce any collagen during the day. We barely have any cycle of skin revival during the day, or it is in a mode of protecting itself. But when we sleep is when more or less stable conditions are created for the skin, and this is where our internal clock uh, is in a living organism just guide us to start the repair process. And what does it mean? It repairs every cell, of course, of the body, but the skin itself also.
Mhm.
It detoxify the skin. It get rid of all that metabolic waste that we also ourselves create during the day, and it rebuilds every skin cell, and all levels, not only on superficial level of epidermis, dermis, but also on the levels of our adipose tissue, which is fat tissue, or muscle that also creates this, lifted look. So when we sleep very little hours, it immediately shown on our face, and we know it better than anyone. After this rough night, or like meeting the deadlines, going very late to sleep. Next day, well, as I say, our iPhone doesn't recognize us, with the
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the face we have. And what can we do about it? Well, thankfully, the science is helping us a lot to face these challenges. So even if we sleep not the amount of hours that we should be sleeping, which is around 7-8 hours, the science and bioscience is now helping us to be able to recharge the cells from within. And on cosmetic level, and exactly what SystemSkin is doing is helping to restore our skin in approximately 4 hours of sleep. So get up in the morning, wake up with full of life, skin rested, lifted, even if you are sleep deprived. But of course, when you can sleep a little bit more and near 7-8 hours, you should be doing that because it's absolutely the basis of our skin health long term.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's just one of those old wives' tales that's so true. You know, like, unfortunately, or fortunately, we have some of them that are maybe not so true anymore, that things that our grandmothers told us or whatever. But this is one of them that, I always think back to before my wedding of like how important it's like I have to get to sleep, but I also was like writing my vows at the last moment and like, you're just so you've got so much adrenaline pumping through and for big presentations, like anything that you want, whether it's photography involved or not, it's just so the light in your skin and your eyes is really reflected by the amount of sleep. And I love just how you touched on as well. You did an email sequence on the levels of skin, which was so fascinating to me too. So, what, as an entrepreneur, do you do to make sure that you get enough sleep? I, for example, really try and bookend my days and be intentional about right before bed and right in the morning. I'd love if you could share with us because, you're radiant, obviously, because of your product, your award-winning product, but what else do you do to make sure that you get a good night's sleep?
Well, thank you really, Megan, so much. I would say that I'm actually maybe just a living example of like how the science is working because I'm not the best example myself of sleeping full night's sleep. I'm rarely sleep 8 hours because also not only my entrepreneurship life, but also being a mother
Mm,
life is just your sleep is completely disrupted. It never comes back to this perfect original state. And what I can do, what do I try to do is, of course, to organize my day in a way that I really go to bed at 12. At 12, but it's not always happening. The thing is that when I can, and this is probably my trick and hack, when I sleep in the weekends, and this is what makes me feel like I gain these extra hours that can be used for the next day. It's not always happening, and officially it's not always working for anyone, but this is my like little trick of gaining extra hours of sleep during the week, so I'm not totally sleep deprived. But in fact, yes, what I started to do recently is actually to just avoid screen time because I'm a little bit workaholic, and I was when my son was born, I was working after he was to bed. So sometimes I was working till 1 a.m. in the night, so it was not very good at all. So now I totally stopped doing that because I believe that not only just trying to catch up and work this extra time will help you anyway, but it will disrupt also your sleep. So the quality of your sleep you get during this night when you really had this screen time, I mean, being in front of the computer, but also had like seeing
yeah.
the TV or watching TV show or just scrolling through your social media, anything that really impacts negatively your sleep. So this is what I started to do. And I found myself that I really get up more recharged and energized.
Mm, yeah. I completely agree with you there. I think it's so important that we understand how these, like, not only the screens, but it's a whole other conversation, the content of what you're watching right before bed and like really trying to impact having a positive, like, a restful, regenerative, restorative sleep. All these things impact it. So I'd love to rewind a little bit, and if you wouldn't mind sharing again about your journey as an entrepreneur and where you see this brand going, and what were some of the sort of wins in the beginning that kind of gave you the boost of like, yeah, I'm brilliant, I'm onto something, this is it.
Well, it was actually SystemSkin started officially 5 years ago. This is where I just started with the real daily work on research and development and investigation in terms of scientific research and biotech research, etc. But it was actually, I wasn't sure it was going to lead to anything because, as I mentioned, if none of the big brands is doing that, maybe it's impossible to do. And actually, I was facing a lot of rejection from the cosmetic labs to take this project to produce, because they were saying, look, it's just impossible to do. You're complicating your life. Just leave it alone. Create a line of 7, 8 products and be happy. What are you doing? They were, and at some point I was thinking maybe they are right. Maybe what I'm trying is just impossible to do, because otherwise other people would have done it. Right? But, I'm a little bit stubborn from my nature. So I say, no, I will find out. I need to really be sure by myself it's not possible to do. So finally, I remember myself very well, like making a list of more than 100 laboratories here in Spain, because I was sure I wanted to produce and manufacture in Spain. And I reached out to all of them, and only 3 of them told, oh, let's have a look at that. 2 of them told, no, after thorough revision. And 1 of them told, let's try it out. Because all of the rest said, no, you're crazy, it's impossible to do. Just take one of our formulas, which is already available in the market, add some little percentage of the ingredients, as everyone does, and you have your new product. It was not what I was going to create. And we started to work with this lab. And it was a very long process, of course. It was, my idea, of course, was to not use any kind of base. If you know, any cosmetic product normally has a base, which is water. Mainly, it's about like 90% of any formula. So with the water, you have all the rest of the active ingredients. In my case, it was like all active ingredients, no water at all. And it was a little bit, it was very, very revolutionary and a little bit crazy. How are you not going to use even the water? And precisely, it's 98.35% of active ingredients. And to make a stable formula, to make a formula that all the ingredients match well with each other, that they are stable, that they work very well on skin, and they preserve themselves very well, was a challenging process. But when finally the product was released, actually, the chemist, who is an amazing chemist with over 30 years of experience, she said, this is the most challenging and exciting product she has ever done. And she's totally proud, so proud of this product that probably is just the best creation of her life. It's just, oh my God, this looks like, we are into something. Yes, but of course, until real people try it out and real people start to write reviews, you don't know how it is perceived in the market. Because of course you do a lot of clinical studies, you do a lot of tests, but it's not until the real people, the real consumers, live with this product and incorporate this product into their life, into their routines. And when we started to actually sell the product, when we launched the product, it was 2 years ago, actually, not long ago. And when we had these first orders, it was exciting, of course. But what was most exciting for me is when I started to see repeat orders. And this was the moment for me. It is working. And now SystemSkin, what is totally spectacular about SystemSkin is our repeat customer rate, which is around 70%, which is crazy for a skincare brand, especially a new skincare brand, which is a benchmark is normally from 5 to 15%. And we are hitting like this crazy number. It is not normal. And this is what most excites me. And I think that indicates the success of the product. And of course, which permits us to innovate more and create more exciting solutions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you've really hit this sweet spot where, the pain point that like, does anyone really want a multi-step routine at the end of their day? No. The sustainability piece, huge. And just like the ingenious quality and the different ingredients that you have listed on the product. I was going to ask you if you could tell me more about what omniverse technology, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, omniverse is like omnipresent. And what does it mean, omnipresent? Is like working on all levels where skin aging is happening. Because
Mhm.
normally, if you just have a look at the cosmetic industry, there are a lot of fragmental solutions, fragmental products. That this will help for firmness. This will help on the level of dermis with some peptides. This will help on the level of smoothen the skin with some acids, etc., etc. So there are like the most complete solution right now in the skincare market, probably targeted only 4 levels of aging at the same time in one product. And we're acting on 10. What does it mean? So we are acting on everything that a cosmetic product can act from a regulatory point of view, from microbiome, epidermis, dermis, adipose tissue, muscle, nerve system, DNA, intercellular, intracellular level, and also a skin immune system, which is all
Yeah.
that we can cover with a cosmetic product and with only one formula. And this is what it means omniverse, because it's everywhere. It's omnipresent and it works simultaneously at the same time with just one product, with just one pump. So
Yeah.
you don't need actually anything else. And thanks to this incredibly powerful technology, of course, we're able to deliver these next level results and in record time, which also sets us apart because we deliver visible results only in 2 weeks. While most of the brands, you should wait at least 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to see any visible changes.
Which, I mean, pin in that because I want to come back to that point. But first, can we, in your opinion, because I know you're in that industry, is it an intentional blind spot to create more products and sell more things, to really focus on one or two and maybe up to four? Or is it just like a lack of creativity and interest in creating a product that's truly innovative?
Well, I would say that the industry is moving by inertia, of course, because the big brands who are present in the market for many, many years and decades will not just cut 90% of their portfolio for one revolutionary product. It will not make sense for their shareholders. Absolutely. So it's totally guided by the bottom line. But at the same time, the true innovation, it's very difficult for them to embrace it because they need to perform, they need to still deliver the results on all other products they are successfully selling, in the market, so they will not kill them. So this is probably more business decision that like lack of scientific innovation or anything, because there are a lot of innovation in the market. The thing is that most part of this innovation never hits the shelves because of that, because of commercial interests of the brands. And only new players like us or any other brands can really break into something innovative in the point of view. And in our case, we went with this all-in-one solution, which just replaces everything and outperforms the entire cabinet full of advanced skincare. But now I would wish more brands, more skincare brands, come up with the solutions that are in line with this concept, with more results, with less waste, and more
Well, and so
positive
back to your point,
feedback.
most major brands talk about, you needing essentially months to see the results. Like, how does that make any sense?
Well,
Is that just a ploy to sell more products? 'Cause that's what it feels like it is to me.
well, absolutely. The industry is constantly pushing the consumers to buy more for best results, a complementary product, add on. if you just analyze the marketing communication, you just say, hey, look, separate product for eye contour, separate product for neck. Well, so it's totally, I would say, totally has no sense. And if you create such a powerful product that really is able to deliver in 2 weeks, you need to, of course, invest a lot, and your costs are very high and your margins are lower. So for big corporations, it's not like the best business model they defend. So it's also like a mix of things.
Yeah. And I love that you call that out on, your website is so informative. Like, one is 3 months, right? Like, that you give people that idea that, okay, and that's how I'm going to try it for 3 months. And you say, I'm going to see it in 2 weeks. So it's like very within the range, very logical. And also you can parse out, okay, this is, what are you currently investing in a month in beauty products, and calculate like that. It makes a lot of sense. So I'd love for you. Yeah. I mean, I personally love just supporting female founders that are concerned about a triple bottom line. You're concerned about a product having what its impact on the environment, how effective is it for your consumer, for your customers, and then just like the quality. And again, all of those things like feed into each other to give you, I'm presuming, like decent profits, because you're, again, award winning. Like I see this only exploding further as more and more women, hear through the grapevine, oh wait, I don't need 3 to 10 products to do the work of this one.
Absolutely. So it's a win from all point of views, and especially, of course, if we become mindful and analyze, well, any consumer analyze what do we have in our bathroom cabinet, we'll be totally shocked. Totally shocked. We will just try to calculate all the investment there. It will be totally shocked. But the return on investment is pretty low. So this is what I'm most concerned of, to creating the real solution, which also solution not just only for the skin, but it comes beyond the skin, because it's so linked to how do you organize your day? What time do you spend in your skincare routine? Suddenly you have a lot of free time. You can be spending on things that you like, or on things that move you forward, or maybe to fulfill your life mission, or to fulfill your full potential in life. So it's much more than, a skin. It's far beyond the skin.
I second all that. And or you could just get like 10 more minutes of beauty rest.
Absolutely. Invest it in sleep, which is the best thing.
So what's the website? Where can people find the product and find you if you want them to find? And again, sign up for your newsletter because it's so informative.
Oh, thank you so much. It's very easy to find us. It's systemskin.com. And you can also very easily find me or reach out to me via LinkedIn with Elena Demina at SystemSkin. And I'm always there to help and just to share what I found, share all my knowledge.
Beautiful. Any last little bits of wisdom on beauty and skin that you want to leave us with?
Oh, well, I would say that always remember the connection of skin and brain. This is what I try to think also every day. How we feel ourselves impact our skin, and how our skin looks impact our mental health and impact our mood and behavior, etc. So try to sync these two things, right? The skin and the brain, and to live just more fulfilling life. I would definitely just try to every day remember that if you smile every morning to your face, you will have a great day. You are winning. Only by the fact that you are woken up, you are winning. So just setting yourself for a great day with a smile in the mirror, and especially if you wake up with full of life skin, it's well. On top of that.
I love that. I love that connection. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much, Megan, to you. It's my privilege.